Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 5.
That was 24 hours ago. Flames and smoke coming from ELIM Care Center in South Fargo. This is what it looks like now as the recovery for all involved is underway, but it's going to take some time. As fire investigators continue their search for an exact cause, efforts are underway to get ELIM back to the way it was. There's been little time to rest, if at all, for the staff as they look to salvage what they can and see that the patient's needs are being met. Valley News Team's Bailey Hurley joins us live with the very latest information. Bailey?
Mike, I want you to take a look at this. This is just some of the debris that's left over from last night's fire. We're just right outside the doors to the child care center. That's where most of the fire damage happened last night. That's also where the ceiling collapsed last night. Now, ELIM officials say that every resident that they had in their facility, they have been safely relocated. Some of them have been relocated to facilities here in town, while others had to be relocated to Mayville, Halstead, and Valley City.
Concerted effort today to follow up with all of our residents. We have actually been out visiting them at the remote sites. I personally went down to Wahpeton to check on all of the residents that were transferred there, and they're doing great. I mean, it is an adjustment for them, as you can imagine. They have to realign their thinking and relationships, but I think sending staff with them last night to help transition was a plus.
Now, I talked with one resident here today, and he said that he and his wife, they were the last two people to get relocated out of here yesterday. He says they didn't end up leaving here until after 10 o'clock. He says by the time they finally got adjusted and his brain had time to relax, he didn't get to sleep until after 2 a.m. He says his wife is finally getting her bearings and is getting adjusted, but he says it's kind of hard as she doesn't have any of her stuff. He came here today to try and figure out how to get inside and get into her room to get clothes and makeup, as she doesn't have any of that. And that's something we've seen time and time again. People have come here today to try and get into their rooms and get their loved ones' belongings. ELIM officials say that they do not know when people will be let back in and be able to get any of their belongings. They will let residents know when that happens. For now, reporting live in South Fargo, Bailey Hurley, Valley News Live.
And we certainly wish them the best, and the staff. Thanks, Bailey. Tonight on Valley News Live 10 at 10, we're going to take a closer look into efforts to get the daycare services back in action at ELIM. The Minnesota Department of Health says that they currently are testing samples for 2 possible cases of the coronavirus. This comes after a second case of the virus was confirmed today in Chicago. Lawmakers and health officials across the country are making plans to keep citizens safe should the virus spread. Commissioner Jan Malcolm said that the virus is a low immediate risk for the general public, but says they are taking necessary precautions.
We, of course, consider any new infectious disease a serious concern, and we're taking precautions. And certainly we know that the potential for public concern is heightened when something has never been seen before, and there are things that we don't know about it.
Officials add that when cases are reported, they will collect laboratory samples and send them to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention for confirmatory testing and isolation of the patient while they await the test results. A motion to suppress evidence has been reset until May for the man accused of killing 4 people in Mandan. 45-year-old Chad Isaac is accused of shooting and killing the 4 victims at RJR Maintenance in Mandan. Isaac and his lawyers said that authorities did not properly obtain warrants for his home, truck, social media accounts, and electronic devices. They're also requesting his trial be moved from Morton County due to pretrial publicity. That trial is still set to begin for November 30th in Morton County. Hard to find anything wrong with today's weather. It's sure nice to see some melting, or at least slushy streets and sidewalks. Let's find out from Justin Fanfarilli about tonight's conditions. He joins us now with your No Wait weather planner. Justin?
And thank you, Mike. Good evening, everybody. Not a lot of sun out there today, but with temperatures this warm, it's actually feeling pretty nice out there. Normal high this time of year near 20 degrees. Most of us are well above that. Into Lakes Country, upper 20s, mid 20s up and down the Red River Valley. A little cooler out toward Devil's Lake at 20 degrees. degrees right now. We do have winds mainly from a northerly direction. Wind speeds are light, 5 to 10 miles per hour, but as you can see out toward Devil's Lake here, winds are flipping around to a southerly direction. That's what we're going to have during the weekend. Mostly cloudy skies, the story across the region. Thicker clouds into our Minnesota counties, but mainly dry. That'll be the story going through the evening as temperatures fall back into the lower 20s, and that is a very mild temperature for evening plans as we stay dry. There's just a chance of a sprinkle or a snow shower through the weekend as we do stay dry, but lots of clouds and mainly dry through most of the week. We'll have the full details coming up a little later on in the newscast.
All right, thanks, Justin. We could be heading for a top 5 record flood in the Fargo-Moorhead Metro. The National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration says the Red River has a 50-50 chance of getting to 35.9 feet through Fargo. Now, 30 feet is considered major flood stage, and at 32, flood walls are installed along 2nd Street downtown. We're going to have much more on this story tonight on Valley News Live at 6. One man's in custody tonight after leading police on a chase through Fargo and Moorhead. Officers tried talking to 31-year-old Thomas Olson, who gave them a false name and then drove off. During the chase, authorities deflated his tires and he was finally arrested in Moorhead. Olson faces numerous charges, including fleeing in a vehicle and driving under the influence. It's Friday, so it's time to take a look at this week's Valley's Most Wanted. Police say this man, 34-year-old Matthew Singleton, is wanted for felony theft of property. Call your law enforcement if you have any information on his whereabouts. A father and son are recovering tonight after a snowmobile crash in Becker County. It happened late Wednesday afternoon. Investigators say 35-year-old Jeffrey Gillespie and his 15-year-old son were operating snowmobiles when they hit a snowbank. The son landed on top of his father and his snowmobile, causing significant injuries. They were taken to the hospital in Detroit Lakes. No word on their condition. Online shoppers should pay close attention to this. FedEx is urging you to think twice if you get a text message from them with a tracking code. The company is urging you to not fall for it because it's from a scammer that's trying to steal your identity. Valley News Team's Cali Hubbard found that several people in the Valley have gotten the text, including one that fell for it.
The text from FedEx starts innocently enough. Hello, your FedEx package with tracking code is waiting for you to set delivery preferences. The link under the message is where people are getting trapped.
I had it logged into my phone as either FedEx or UPS. So when I looked at it, I didn't recognize the number and I just kind of shrugged it off.
Melissa Lucas from Boston, Minnesota got the text on Monday. She went on Facebook and discovered that the same message was sent to thousands nationwide.
I realized that I was also being scammed as well.
Another lady called Valley News Live saying she fell for it, entering all of her personal information.
Don't click the link. If it's not something that you recognize or if it's not someone that you know, don't follow it.
FedEx says it's a total scam, urging you not to click on the link.
If you're not sure, don't be afraid to ask someone that you trust a question to make sure it's real or not.
Is it smart to put your information into an unknown website that's probably not secure, right?
Investigators are telling you it's a good idea to block numbers that you don't know so you're not a lost cause. In Fargo, Cali Hubbard, Valley News Live.
And FedEx is telling people to report emails and texts to them. We posted a link on our Valley News Live app. Download it and click on this story. A man is recovering after a display case fell on him at a Fargo business. It happened this morning at Fargo Glass and Paint Company. That's located at 1800 block of 7th Avenue North. The man was wheeled out in a wheelchair, but there's no word on the extent of his injuries. Minnesota Congresswoman Ilhan Omar is asking voters to send her back to Congress. She kicked off a re-election campaign in Minneapolis. The Democrats serve the state's 5th district. Omar became the first Somali-American Muslim ever elected to Congress in 2018.
I'm in Congress fighting for the people who feel oppressed and voiceless in our country and abroad.
The Congresswoman has faced criticism for remarks about Israel and a state campaign finance violation.